Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well.
Yes, people, do not adjust the brightness on your phones or whatever you're watching on. I am this dark. I've been on holiday, but I am back in my seat. JR, I hope you enjoyed it, but never again, son. I'm back. It's Slim, your boy, the host with the most. I'm back with Season 2, Episode 3 of the Anfield South podcast. How we doing, boys? Miss me?
Boy. We had a good couple of episodes, but yeah, good to be back.
No, it's good to be back in the hot seat, man. It's good to be back talking football, man. I missed it over the summer. But anyway, boys, do me a favour, introduce yourselves quickly.
Yeah, the original Real Sam's back.
Yes.
Big up Sam from North, my twin replacement. But I'm here now, I'm back.
What's going on, people? Big Shawn here.
Yes, people, it's Richard.
Yes, Richard.
Round of applause for Richard,
yes.
debutant from the Anfield South group. Big him
First
up.
timer.
Listen, Richard is part of the WhatsApp group, was part of the WhatsApp group, the Anfield South WhatsApp group, and he's got himself on the podcast. So for all you listening and watching out there, if you join the WhatsApp group, you know what I mean, you could be sitting opposite me, you know what I mean?
Can happen.
join in. Anyway, boys, let's get down to business. The game just gone. Liverpool Arsenal, final score was 3-1. What an amazing game, by the way. Who scored the goals again? Salah's got 2. Who got the first one? Matip.
Giraffe.
That's it.
Matip,
Big
boy.
Joel Matip. And soon as I'm mentioning Matip, let's talk about Matip's performance in that game. Shawn, talk to me.
Bro, listen, we sit here and we talk about James Milner being one of the best, like, free transfer signings. This guy, bro, like, I think he's right up there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yesterday, bro, he's commanding. Also, he got the goal, didn't put a foot wrong. You saw the tackle that he did when Aubameyang was
through, yeah.
through. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems to me like playing alongside Van Dijk. For me, he has to be his partner throughout the whole season. Again, I know that Joe Gomez is a good player, you know, also a quality young centre back. But I think right now Matip is not putting a foot wrong, and for me, he just starts every game.
Yeah, I'm a believer in you. If you're playing well, you keep the shirt. Only until an injury or a devastating mistake do you lose the shirt. So no disrespect to Joe Gomez, like you said, but I think Matip has earned the shirt, and he's carried on from last season, man. That partnership, Richard, talk to me about that partnership.
Yeah, man. I mean, to be fair, when Matip first came, I was thinking to myself, he's all right for free, do you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, at those times it felt like the Mignolet stroke Lovren just rubbed off on him, and then slowly but surely he just started slipping, and he was just as bad as the Carrises and that. But since pretty much end of last season or halfway through last season, when Gomez was injured and he stepped up, I can't fault the guy, man. He's literally stepped up, and I think it's right that he keeps his place. Like, there's no way that I think that he's done anything wrong to justify Gomez just stepping back in. Gomez has to prove his worth for that position, man, to be honest.
Big Sam, Matip loves to carry that ball out of the fence. Would you say he is the best ball carrying centre back at the minute?
I don't know who called it. I think it might have been Leo from the group that mentioned it. At the moment, I can't think of anyone else that does it as good as him. In terms of the fact he covers the ground real quick, he commits people, and normally he actually finds a teammate as well.
Yeah.
And that goes for when he's sitting deep as well, and he plays long, straight passes along the ground. He carries the ball, and he's another impotence of attack, because you've got to remember he's drawing players towards him. He's leaving our fullbacks wider, so they've got even more space. Yeah. And it's another dimension, which I don't think we've got. Even Van Dijk. Van Dijk used to have that in his locker, but he doesn't seem to do it that much anymore. Yeah. And so for me, I'd probably say he's up there, man. I mean,
he's got some good feet as well. I've seen him like left to right foot, like really quite quickly, and go past a couple of defenders as well. So I reckon he's probably up there as one of the best ball carrying centre backs.
Big up Giraffe.
And the thing as well, like now, he's adding goals to his game. You know what I mean? It's not just the fact like that he can play the ball. Obviously, that he's also a good defender. He's now starting to get goals because you look at it, like he's a big boy. You know what I'm saying? And last season we were saying that boy, like, you know what, for his height, he should be getting more goals, getting on the end of more set pieces. And boy, also see yesterday he got the goal. Yeah, man.
Big
Joe.
Joe.
The last season as well, I think he had a knack of like finding himself in the right position to get those opportunities, but he just wasn't burying them, to be honest.
Do you think? It's going to sound silly. Do you think Van Dijk's improved his game?
Yeah, I mean, Van Dijk improves everyone. He doesn't even mean to do it. It's just his natural aura and the fact that everyone around him raises their game. And the fact that it's happened now when he's in the team, conversely to when Lovren was in the team, you can see that good players rub off on each other's, and players that have crazy moments, they make everyone else nervous. I ain't even gonna call him out too tough, but Adrian, he does that to people. You can see that. Yeah, and I'm not gonna bring him out, but there's a certain level of calmness.
I disagree.
That you don't get.
I disagree with you, Adrian. I think he's been a steady 6-7 for me. I mean,
let me ask you this, bruv. Doesn't he scare you?
No more than any other keeper, bar Alisson would.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's our other keeper, isn't it? So
this is my reason why I'm saying that is because not everyone can be Alisson, Ederson's, Neuer's. So everyone below those keepers are gonna be like that. So he doesn't scare me like how you're saying. The things that happen, I expect that to happen to most keepers who are not Alisson, Ederson. Do you see what I'm saying?
That crazy kind of rush of blood mentality thing he's got.
Do you know what it is? Liverpool is a big club. Adrian was at West Ham. Yeah, Liverpool is a big club. We've just won the European trophy. Yeah, it's for the 6th time. So and Alisson in goal, Golden Glove, all of that. That's a lot to live up to. You're sitting in goal, and something comes through. Right, like, well, I've got to get out to it. Like, I don't want to concede. It's a lot of pressure. So whilst he does make you a little bit nervous, I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it because no one's going to be as good as Alisson, and the back four is good enough to keep things out of his reach, if not his reach, but you know what I'm saying, to stop things going through to him. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, give Adrian some space, man. You know
I didn't mean to call him out, but I'm just going back to Van Dijk and his effect on Matip is clear, isn't it? It's clear, and as long as they're in synergy like that, I don't really see Joe Gomez getting back into the team until, like you said, an injury, God forbid, touch wood. But they just look too solid at the moment, and that I think the extra dimension that Matip has in terms of carrying the ball forward, 1, and being a threat in the opposition box, 2, that's 2 massive things that Joe Gomez does not have
in his armory. Yeah, he's a great defender, Gomez, but we need proper ball playing centre backs, especially the way we play.
It's a kind of modern day centre back now. Not just obviously defending.
I mean, got to be able to do everything.
In Gomez's defence, though, last season when he did start with
this is nothing against Gomez. He's a great defender.
Before he got injured, I didn't think he was going to be.
But he's just not. He doesn't displace Matip.
He doesn't do what
Matip's
doing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It is true.
Slim, sorry, just before you go on, who's the better defender?
Oh, that is hard.
Between
Gomez and Matip.
That's
just
hard.
Who's the better pure defender?
Because Matip's a good defender, but the reason why I give it to Gomez because his recovery pace is probably better than Matip's. That's the only reason I give it to Gomez.
Yeah, I agree with that as a brilliant point.
Just for his recovery pace, simple.
But even though sometimes Gomez can kind of like go to sleep,
but he only switches off at right back.
You think
at centre back, he's a lot more switched on because that's his natural position, in my opinion. So yeah. Okay, well, talk about formation because I don't know who Unai Emery thought he was coming with a diamond. 2 of the best fullbacks in the country, in the land, in Europe, and you try and play a diamond. But obviously, we went with our tried and tested 4-3-3. I'm not even going to call it 4. I prefer to call it a 2-5-3 because there's that flipping Robertson and Trent play so high. They're like wingers. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, 4-3-3. But Arsenal went with this awful diamond, and it just helped us really. Do you know what I mean? Someone explained to me what Emery thought he was going to achieve playing that diamond.
Do you know what? To be fair to him, I understand where he was going with it because for 40 solid minutes, they competed. Yeah, and they never compete at Anfield. They come and they get ripped. That's just what happens, isn't it? But they competed, and to be fair,
did they compete?
They competed in that they contained us to the wings, and our fullbacks had an off day. That's the only reason. Yeah, I mean, I think Trent got an assist in the end anyway, but his delivery from open play was all over the gaff. He wasn't hitting anyone.
Was he not hitting anyone because no one was in the box, or was he not hitting anyone because his crosses were bad?
I think it was a mixture of the two, but to be fair, they got away. Let's say they got away with it for 40 minutes, but they competed. And for that reason, I was watching, I was thinking, right, Arsenal have improved slightly over last season because if we'd have scored early in that game, you're looking at 4-5-0 half time. Yeah. Easy. But they kept in the game and they had that one gilt-edged chance. You know what I mean? So, although it was cheeky for them to try it, I see where he was going, having 2 pacey strikers up there to stretch us. And to be fair, throughout the game, when we lost the ball and there was a turnover, they were 2-on-2, and not that worries me because Van Dijk will pocket most people, but it's like it was dangerous and it was an opportunity for them.
I was watching the game with my mate who's an Arsenal fan, and every time the ball went over the top to Pepe, he was saying, look, you can't leave Van Dijk with Pepe. And I was saying, look, Pepe's got the legs on Van Dijk. Yeah, he's quicker than him, even though Van Dijk's quick. But Van Dijk's got it covered. The way he defends, he had the angles covered. And then on top of that, Pepe had no support. So, where they had so many players behind the ball, when the ball was going long over the top, even though Pepe was getting there was no support. He looked up, there's nobody there. So he's got to go back. By the time somebody gets there, obviously we're back in shape. So I don't think they really competed with us. I think the diamond was the wrong thing for them to do, but hey.
For me, I disagree slightly with Sam. I think they were fortunate. I think we were unfortunate, not to get a goal within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Within the first minutes, we just blitzed them. They
press
couldn't get out of our half.
was
The press
amazing.
was just,
You say that, yeah, but we didn't create anything.
Boy, I think we had like one chance, Sam.
We didn't create anything.
I know we didn't create anything, but I agree with Shawn. The way the press was from the first 5 minutes. Yeah.
But they didn't crumble. Like, what I'm saying is normally teams they crumble. Something happens, someone makes a mistake, it's a goal straight away. But they didn't crumble. And for me, I've never say I've impressed with Arsenal, but I was surprised that they made it through that period.
Because I think for the first 10 minutes, we were all over them. Even when I think it was Robertson almost did like this kind of shot stroke.
Yeah,
pass.
For me, they nearly got in.
Almost got on the end of that. And we were kind of like pressurizing them, and then it's like they basically kind of just started calming down and basically were dealing with the situation a lot better. But then slowly but surely, I think it was just taking a lot out of them in terms of
I agree with that.
I don't think they could really keep up with the pace, to be honest.
You knew it was coming, but it's just I didn't see where it was coming from at that point because the crosses weren't working, and but end of the day, if we've got a threat from our centre backs, they're looking at everybody else. They're trying to pull Van Dijk's shirt off him.
Well, that would have been a penalty, no doubt.
Do you reckon VAR would have given it?
No doubt. He had a fistful of his shirt. That if that wasn't, it's not a penalty, I don't know what is. I mean, we saw later on in the game what Luiz did to Salah, and it was a penalty, so it was no different.
Fair sure.
Yeah, that would have been definitely a penalty for me. Okay, let's talk about Salah's second goal. Obviously, I don't know who played the ball into him.
Giraffe.
Yeah, it was a ball into Salah from Matip, and the turn on David Luiz was just, it was
vintage Salah, bro.
Yeah, but it was schoolboy defending from Luiz getting that tight and not taking the man out. If you're going to get that tight, you've got to make sure you take everything.
He didn't want the red, did he?
He didn't.
Yeah,
but
he was too tight, way too tight.
Go on, Shawn. Like you said, vintage Salah.
Well, listen, this guy just keeps going from strength to strength. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's gone to a flyer. And the thing that I've been impressed about him is that you can see now, like, that the rapport between him and Mane, it's like it was like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was opportunities that I saw where Salah could have scored, and he passed to Mane. But so going back to the goal, like, I don't like to throw the term world class out there. You know what I'm saying? But to me, like, I think right now, like, you got to say that he is kind of like borderline a world class player. You know what I mean? I mean, to score that kind of goal, if that was Messi or Ronaldo, what would we be saying? We'd be saying that,
true. Yeah,
great,
amazing.
You know
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Clinical, everything.
I just think like that the guy is this guy from strength to strength. Yesterday he had a great game, and again Arsenal, like David Luiz, like the guy stood no chance against Salah. You know what I mean? Like obviously the penalty was just stupidity, like it, but that's Luiz for you. And then obviously that turn there, I was just like, you know what, like just take him off, like, you know what I mean?
That penalty was Mo Salah's 150th career goal in football. So he's
That penalty was bad.
Yeah.
Does anyone else get nervous when Salah takes pens?
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you know what I do? If it's not Milner, I'm scared.
But the madness is he's never missed one.
That's why I don't
He's
get
never
nervous.
missed one. But yeah. But I don't know. He's run up the way I just don't. But he put that top corner.
Do you know, it wasn't even just top corner.
It was side netting as well.
Wrapped it into the top corner.
It was a good pen, but yeah, that was his 150th career goal. So he's racking up the goals in the short space of time. Do you know what I mean? So he's only had 4 or 5 clubs. So
yeah,
it's a pretty impressive record though, Mo Salah. Yeah, great goal. Question, boys, man of the match.
I'm gonna go with Matip.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm definitely going with Matip, but a big shout out and I don't even want to go there with this guy, yeah. But Jordan Henderson, yeah, he's not my favorite player at all, yeah. And apart from that one moment where he gave Pepe that chance where he didn't connect properly and Pepe ran through,
that was do you know what that was a key moment in the game.
It was a massive
them
moment.
missing that Pepe missing that 1-on-1 is a big moment in the game, because I mean if they go one up, there's every chance they change formation and they sit back even more than what they were at that time. But
it was a terrible finish, actually. He just literally just
he's
everything
very
and
left-footed, isn't he?
hit it straight at the keeper, man.
well, I likened him today to a bit of prime bit of steak. Do you know what I'm saying? A big nice bit of sirloin or whatever. You can't eat it just like that. It needs cooking, and he needs that. And
he needs to marinate in.
he does. He needs a little bit of seasoning and you know what I mean, a bit of loving, and then it's right. But I'm not sure if Unai is the man to develop a talent as like Pepe's. I'm serious, man. I think the boy's got class. I could see why he was on our radar, but under Klopp he would have been 100% a world beater, and with Salah and Mane in to learn from, he would have been amazing. But I'm not sure he's gonna get the treatment that he needs, the teachings that he needs at Arsenal. I could be wrong. What the hell do I know? I'm just an electrician.
But yeah, big up Hendo though. He was excellent. He was excellent. Everything he did was simple, was concise, was sharp, was quick. He made a few runs as well. I appreciated Henderson for the first time in a long time.
That was his 100th time captaining the side.
Ooh, look at you, Stato. What? Try to do your homework this week, yeah?
No, I just have to show everybody that this seat belongs to me, isn't it? You know, this is my chair, so I know what I'm talking about.
The thing is, yesterday, there's a number of candidates that could have been man of the match. You could have even said Fabinho, for example.
Yeah.
He had a great game yesterday
as well. Yeah.
So,
do you know what's funny about that? Do you remember his
you know
debut?
What? Sorry, Sam. I'm glad you said that, Richard, because I was waiting. I was hoping someone would say that. Firmino was...
I think you heard the podcast between you and Crucial Robbie. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Replace me for Lacazette.
Yeah, I was on TalkSport with Robbie from AFTV, and we were talking about a combined front three, and Robbie decided to say his front three would be Mane, Aubameyang, and did he say Pepe as well?
Wow.
No, and Lacazette, sorry. And I had to, Pepe, I don't know what I said, Lacazette, and I had to
hold on,
Lacazette
Mane,
over
Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Yes.
So you were saying he would replace
he'd replace Salah with Aubameyang
and Lacazette with Firmino. Yeah.
that's laughable.
No.
But
It's not.
dude, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And his argument was that Aubameyang got the golden boot last season, and my counter argument was that was one season. There's no consistency yet. Like, is he going to do it again? And I don't think there's a better link man in the Premier League than Bobby Firmino.
There isn't.
There's not a better link man. He knits that front three together. The things he was doing, like against Arsenal, it's like the samba was just in his body that day. Like that was pure Brazilian performance from him. And yeah, you're right, Richard. For me, I think he could nick man of the match, but.
Because even when he did that little flick up,
Over
tried to volley it. I was just like, nah.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that in a professional game of football.
Can't do that.
You should not be allowed to do that in a professional game of
like that, and you're
football.
doing that. It's off the cuff, like nothing. Wicked.
Listen,
But
it
for me,
wasn't even anything as well. He did a few things, but
I definitely believe Matip has to be man of the match. But another quick stat on Bobby Firmino: he's one goal away from his 50th career goal, the highest scoring Brazilian in the Premier League.
Okay.
Yeah. Another stat for you.
Go on.
Just churning them out. You know what I mean?
I feel like putting you on the spot and saying how many did Coutinho get. I know you don't know. He's gone anyway.
I don't care about that guy. Okay, so resounding. I think Matip gets the man of the match from us boys. One thing that did sour the result for me yesterday was the lack of a clean sheet. I mean, what have we played? 5 games all in all, and not including the Community Shield and the Super Cup, and not one clean sheet so far. Considering we prided ourselves on our defence last season, is the lack of a clean sheet a problem?
Yes and no. I kind of feel like without Alisson, it's not really an accurate assessment of the team. So if you take him out of the team, you're losing a lot of continuity, you're losing a lot of confidence, and they know what they're doing and they trust him. Yeah, Klopp mentioned the other day how they passed the ball back too many times to Adrian.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so that you can do it to Alisson, it's fine. With Adrian, it's too much.
He's not really used to playing with his feet, though, is he? That's the problem.
So in that respect, I'm not overly worried about the clean sheets. I kind of feel like last season we bust all kind of records. Yeah, most clean sheets, top scorers, all this kind of stuff, and we didn't win the league. So I'm like, do you know what? This guy Pookie's got 5 goals at the moment. Sterling's got 5 goals. I don't care about golden boot no more. I don't care about golden gloves. I just care about wins. So if it means we get 10 clean sheets all season, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. Yeah. Like I've my mindset has changed completely compared to last season. Like that. I'm like, all right, if we don't get a clean sheet, as long as we win. It annoyed me, but we won the game.
That's I guess I did 3 points is all that matters.
The thing is, regarding yesterday though, to me I just think we're just being complacent. I mean, at 3-0, we were just taking a piss, like, innit? You know what I'm saying? We could have got more goals, but it was just kind of like a training ground exhibition. So I'm not too worried. And plus as well, in these games that have just gone, hasn't been the same centre-back partnerships as well. I think Gomez has come in, also Matip has come in. So again, I'm not really too worried. I'm not going to really focus so much on like goal difference and things like that. Again, like I agree with Sam, as long as we just keep winning, you know what I mean? We can't really worry about breaking records. Yeah. The main focus is just to go out and just win, also win game by game. So yeah.
The only thing I would say with regarding conceding is that depending on when you concede and what the score is, it can have different outcomes.
True. So if you concede first.
So but even if you concede, like for example, when we played Southampton, it was like we 2-0 up, everything was crisp, then we conceded, and then it was just like, oh no, you start thinking, oh no, we're going to go back to the old days where it's like, oh, we're going to end up conceding and losing.
Did you think we were going to draw the game?
I didn't think so, but it was like, nah, don't even try it, not today. We need to win, do you know what I mean? But even like yesterday, we were 3-0 up, and then we conceded the 1 goal, and then you can see that they kind of energized them a bit more, and they were trying a bit harder. But had we only been 2-0 up and we conceded that goal, you know,
at squeaky bum time, we would have conceded. At 2-0, we would have been more concentrated and know that the game wasn't over. So, like you said about complacency, I think we did drop off a little bit.
But you could argue what happened at Southampton then.
The Adrian Adamir, innit? That was an anomaly. Like you can't factor in them ones. You done the madness, innit?
Fair enough.
Okay, so clean sheet's not really a factor for most people this season, which is fair enough. I get that.
Do you know what's the only reason I'm saying that I don't care is not just because it didn't really get us where we wanted to be last season. Amazing season, all the records and all that kind of stuff. But everyone else is conceding. No one is defensively stable at the moment. Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah.
So
I mean, well, we're recording on Sunday, and I mean Tottenham have just lost to Newcastle.
Bad weekend for North London, eh?
Yeah.
I think as well, like, I mean, it's early doors, like, innit? What, 5 games gone?
Well, 3 games in the league. It's only 5 games.
5 games in total,
So, I don't want to move on from the game. Just quickly, Klopp substitutions, right? So obviously we're 3-0 up. His first substitution is James Milner. For me personally, I looked at that and I said, why? Yeah, how old is James Milner? What, he's 30 something?
33 or something.
Yeah, 30 something. Yeah, he's great. Don't get me wrong, I love James Milner. Great utility man, excellent for the club. But I don't think he needs to come on when the game's secure at 3-0. I don't feel he needs to come. I think Klopp could give the fringe players a bit more time on the pitch. Like, for argument's sake, he did bring on Oxlade-Chamberlain and he brought on Lallana, but I think substitutions like bringing on Milner, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. Now, what is it with Klopp and substitutions when we're in winning positions? Why do you think he's afraid to give those fringe players those extra minutes when we're 3-0 up?
Trust. I don't think he trusts them fully. And with Milner, who I'd like to see the stats, I'm pretty sure that Milner's his first sub for the majority of the games. And it's because he implicitly trusts him. With whatever situation the game is in, if we need to hold on to a lead, if we need to protect a lead, if we need to go for it, for some reason it's always Milner. And it's because he trusts what he thinks he can do to affect the game. And I don't think that I definitely don't trust Shaq. Definitely don't trust him.
Something's going on there, I think.
Whatever the issue is, he's being punished. He's being punished, and Klopp's just not having it.
Shaqiri was Klopp signing.
Yeah, but
that was because he was cheap, basically.
No,
but if he wasn't the price he was, do you think he still would have gone for him? If he was another 15, 20 million. Because how much did we pay for him? Like 13 million.
Yeah, 13, 12, 13 million.
That's a
between
bargain.
that, yeah.
That's like Arsenal snapping up Louise. It's just
But,
a bargain.
No, that ain't a
No, but
bargain.
hold on.
That's another story.
no, at the time.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Louise was a bargain, but look, you can see like they've got a bargain in Louise. They've thrown him in. Granted, they needed their centre back. Like Arsenal defence is shocking, but my point is, you've got a bargain. You're using it. You know, if you go and you buy something like you get some trainers for like £70 that were 150, you're like, boom, you're flexing in them. But Klopp doesn't want to wear these trainers, and I'm confused why he's doing that to Shaq. Because I personally like Shaqiri. I think that's another attacking threat.
He's one of the few midfielders that can actually like create and obviously get goals. You know what I mean? But again, something's going on behind closed doors that we obviously don't know about. But
I think I agree. Something happened around that time last season, I think, and but I think even when Klopp does play Shaqiri, if he plays him in like the midfield three, I think that's the wrong position for him. Right? He needs to be further up because I find he doesn't really have any impact on the game when he's too deep, in my opinion. So. I think Klopp knew that. That's why when he was playing him before, he was trying to change our formation to the 4-2-3-1 because he knows he has to get him a bit closer to the edge of the area. But yeah, he can't. His work rate can't be compared to the Hendersons and the Genies and the Milners. But then also, for some reason, he never wants to take Salah off the pitch. So.
That's true. He left him on, didn't he? So you think it's the trust he has in the players?
I
then
think
so.
continuity
for me,
as well.
The continuity, yeah.
In terms of, he knows that he can take out Genie and put in Milner, and it's the same thing. He can take out Milner, put in Hendo.
That's a really good point. I never looked at it like that, you know.
So I think he just knows from those three guys, there's a certain baseline level of performance he's going to get, and that's what he thinks he needs in that midfield. If he brings in like Shaqiri, it's going to drop. He brings even he brings in Ox and the Lalanas.
I don't think so much Ox, to be fair.
On their day, they can match it, but when they're not consistent.
That's a really
enough.
good point though, because if that's the case in terms of continuity, when is Ox going to get a game? When is Ox going to start? Because he's a different type to the rest of all of them. So Lallana, let's not talk about that. He doesn't really factor in this part of that midfield conversation. But where does Ox start a game?
To be fair, when Ox came on yesterday, did he make that?
But he came on wide up.
Yeah,
he came wide up top.
They came left. They came on the left. But you know what? To be fair to what you're saying, I can agree with it. Because for me, when the substitutions were made, the levels dropped in the game for me a little bit. I felt the levels dropped. And I was looking at the game thinking, what's going on? Then I realised there were substitutions and who came on. And then obviously, from then we conceded a goal. So I think you're right. I think he likes to... You might be right. He likes to swap.
To be fair, I mean, I don't want to start pointing the finger, but even when you watch the
point
goal,
it, bro. Point it. It's cool.
Even when you watch the goal, you see like who was doing what when the goal was scored. I keep looking at it, and I'm just thinking, Ox, man, you should have been attacking the ball.
Oh, so you blamed Ox?
I personally think that out of that scenario, there's a few situations where Hendo was running and going in and into tackles, and he was coming out worse off, but that was because he was tired. Like he's literally he was tired. So the guys that came on, they're supposed to do that for him, but obviously he's just Mr. Liverpool, innit? So he's gonna just try and do everything. And when that goal was scored, he tried to come in to do that kind of last ditch effort.
Yeah, he did.
Tackle,
So do you think it shouldn't have been him? It should have been.
I mean,
Ox.
he should have done it, but what I'm saying is Ox should have been doing it as well. So Ox should have anticipated he's gonna go into him, send him this way. If he doesn't go that way and he comes this way, then I've got to basically block it.
I'm gonna
he was
rewatch
just watching.
I have to rewatch it as well.
By the time he reacted, it's too late. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but
No, not at all. It's an objective point.
Guys,
I'm
out
going
there,
to watch it again because I was looking at Hendo more than anyone else.
Hold on,
And
Sam,
Trent-
1 second. Guys, if you're out there, you're listening and you think Richard's being harsh, man, drop us a comment. Do you know what I mean? Drop us a comment and let us know if you think it's harsh or not, you know? Go on, Sam.
No, I was just going to say the first point was Trent in that he took the ball and he didn't clear it out of play.
Yeah.
He cleared it right. It was decent enough clearance, but it went straight to an Arsenal player and we were straight under pressure and he was out of position when the ball was played to... I don't know who it was.
The
on
little
the left
short
for
guy.
Arsenal.
Wasn't it the guy who scored the goal?
No.
Was it played?
Torreira come in, but the ball was played onto the left.
It was played into someone
and
first.
Obviously, Trent was out of position because he played it and he couldn't get back in. And so that's who I was looking at first. I wasn't really concentrating on Ox, but I'm gonna have a look at that and just see.
Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe I'm a bit harsh when I'm ready. But I personally think that in that scenario, I just can imagine like the Robertsons just throwing their body in front of the ball, and you know what I mean. Certain defenders are just throwing their body in front of the ball. And I'm just thinking that he just wasn't.
I know what it was. Ox felt sorry for them. Said, "Go on." You know what I'm saying?
Do you know, Ox is very, very pally with Maitland-Niles. You know, they're probably boys from when early Arsenal days.
But you know what? I like to think that footballers are professionals, innit? And if I play against any of you in football, try and know I'm going to come through you like a ton of bricks, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But after the game, I'll be shaking your hand, buying you a beer. You know what I'm saying? So I won't read too much into that. Okay, another question I want to ask is, how do you think from the start of the season, the Community Shield, to the game yesterday, we've improved? There's been any improvement in the team?
I would say so, yeah.
Of course.
You know what I mean? I would say so, like 100%. We've had bad halves. Yeah. Southampton, we were bad in the first half, and against Chelsea in the was it Super Cup? We was.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like that, as the season's gone on, we have gone better. I think yesterday is now the benchmark of the level that we need to play. Obviously, each game. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think we have definitely obviously gotten better as the season's gone on. And again, it's still. I mean, I'm not really like sweating or being like too like what's what I'm looking for, like nervous, if you will, because it's only three games. Man City have drew, Tottenham lost today. It's still early.
Man United have lost.
Don't worry about Man United.
Yeah, but you know it's always a good day when United lose.
To my local team as well. Palace knocked them out.
And to me, as long as obviously the front three are firing, obviously God forbid no injuries obviously happen.
Oh gosh.
Adrian.
Yeah, Wood, I got a touch today, boy.
You know Adrian does his job. I think right now, like, we're looking fine. But I mean, going forward, the only issue I'll say to him is the midfield. And I think that there needs to be someone in that midfield like who's gonna get you goals and get you assists.
You know what? You bring me on to my next point nicely. That's what I was gonna. That's one of the questions I'm gonna actually ask. Like, would it affect the attacking balance if there was to be like more dynamic midfielders thrown in there, i.e., your Oxes, your Shakiris, if you like? Do you think it would throw the balance off for the front three?
It would. You know, I think ultimately this is why we're stuck with the midfield functionality of just hard workers, because the creativity doesn't need to come from them because we play through the wings and our fullbacks, and the front three create a lot for themselves and work as a trio quite well. And I think if you take away the defensive stability from three midfielders and put one in there attacking as well, I think we're going to be very, very open. And I don't like it. I'd prefer to see more creativity in there, but I think there is a reason behind why Klopp is doing this, because if you think about it, we've got 5 attacking players on the pitch all the time, really, with the fullbacks, and that's quite a heavy workload. For three midfielders, let alone 2. So if you take out one of those hardworking midfielders, let's say, just for argument's sake, Ginny.
Oh gosh, I think a lot of people would take him out after yesterday.
No shit. Shocker, boy. And then you put in an Ox. Ox is offensive minded. Is he going to cover the ground that Ginny does?
But you know what? I think he will. I think Ox will. I think Ox is the kind of guy like you know that he's just gonna work hard. You know what I mean? He's not the kind of guy that's gonna be lackadaisical when a ball goes past. He's just gonna jog back. He's gonna get onto his guy.
Maybe, but he hasn't got he can't do what Ginny does.
Did you see Ginny not doing?
Okay,
hold on. Ginny don't do nothing. I get that.
Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second, because before we're too harsh on Genie, there was a moment where Pepe was down in our left-hand side in the corner, and Genie went in and sorted it out, won the ball, kept him off the ball, like showed him where the gym is, you know what I'm saying, and then got rid of the ball. So Genie has his uses, and so what Sam's saying about Ox, I was going to ask you, Richard, do you think Ox has got a decent enough tackle on him to actually deal with? Do you know what I'm saying? He can track Genie.
I think Genie's ball retention is underrated. Like, once he gets the ball, he doesn't lose the ball, and that's important. I think Klopp values that.
He does. I agree with you there.
Once he gets the ball, he does. I could probably count on my hand throughout his whole season. Sorry, for how many seasons, how many times he's actually lost the ball. He doesn't lose the ball. And if you can work as hard as the Milners and the Hendersons, but have that ball retention, then obviously that's valuable. I think the only thing with him is this the whole decisive pass after that. A lot of it tends to go sideways or go somewhere safe. He doesn't really do that kind of killer, kind of Coutinho cutting through, slicing through the defense or whatever kind of ball. But I think Genie underrated personally.
But Richard, like, surely you got to be more than just a worker. You know what I mean? Like, fair enough. All right, cool. We know that he can retain the ball. We know that obviously he is actually good on the ball, but he's also very negative and he's very inconsistent. And we can't have that this season. You know what I mean? There needs to be one of our midfielders.
You have to hear what Sam just said, though. Go and answer him, though,
Go on,
Richard.
sir.
I agree, right? But with raised to what Sam was saying, I think the whole Gergen press thing, it can't work unless everyone presses together. So unless when it's time to press, everybody's going to do it at the same time, then as soon as you got that one guy in the midfield or in the press that doesn't do what he's supposed to do, he doesn't run when he's supposed to run and he leaves the gap open, etc., it will break down. And I think that the whole Klopp's Gergen press, he needs to know that when it's time to press, you guys are going to have the energy to do the press, basically.
Hence the three midfielders that he likes to pick.
They will do the press.
Yeah.
You understand?
Do you know what? Fortunately or not, he trusts Winnie differently. He trusts him, and he could be having the worst game ever, like he was for most of our Arsenal games yesterday. But he trusts him.
I used to have a problem when he first came because I used to think to myself, this guy he's not working hard enough. He goes missing, but
He still goes missing, bro.
it's
Trust me.
as much as we say that in certain games, there's certain games where he steps up, and I think what happened, like especially last season, it was the fear of all these new midfielders coming in that made them guys step up their game. So the whole the Milners, the Genies, and the Hendos. When they saw Naby Keita come in, when they saw Fabinho come in, etc., all of a sudden these guys are playing out their skin. And I think really and truly we kind of need something like that for the other positions as well, to be honest. I think
Competition for places.
Man.
But
you see
you know
people
what?
step up their game.
If we're talking about competition for places, but we realised that for us to work as a functional unit, we need three working midfielders.
Right, exactly what I was just going to say.
However, at any point, are Keita and Ox going to get in that midfield, in that trio? Because neither of them have that work ethic of the other three.
Well, this is why I believe Keita didn't get into the team for so long, because he needed to get up to speed with the amount of work rate that was required to play in that midfield three. Do you understand? Which is why he didn't play for so long. Obviously now he is plagued with injuries, which is...
Same thing happened to Fabinho.
Yeah, just saying Fabinho didn't play for long as well time either, because you know the work rate that Klopp expects from that three-man midfield is a lot. So,
and it's an important, as far as Klopp's concerned, that's a crucial position.
And like you just
those
highlighted,
three.
Sam, with how many the front three and the two fullbacks, that's 5 people in attack. You need those 3 workers in there. So this part today has actually changed my mind. I was the one for we need an attacking midfielder, we need an Ox in there, just have 2 holders in it. But actually, after today, I'm actually content with 3 workers.
We need an attacking creative player, but they need to be a worker as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, before Ox got injured, like Ox was like he was starting.
He was.
So it's not a thing where like he can't do that that work rate. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think I don't disagree with you. I believe he can get up and down the pitch, but then I just think the defensive side of the game, I don't think he's got that. I don't think he can put in a good tackle. I think if he puts in a tackle, more than likely it's going to be a yellow card. Do you see what I mean? And I think that's what Wijnaldum has over him, that defensive side of things. You see what I mean? I don't see Ox shielding the ball and doing all of that. I don't see him as that kind of player, even though he can do box to box. I see him more as a threat going forward. So, but like I said, I am fully in the 3 worker midfield, Brexit midfield, as I like to call it. I'm in for that. I'm here for that.
Yeah, we ain't never gonna see the KFC midfield, man. It's not gonna happen. Let's be honest. Unless it's a cup game, you know, it's not gonna happen. I think what's important as well is to note how much the Kop and the Liverpool crowd appreciate Wijnaldum, and I don't like watching him play. I applaud like literally 3 moments in a game when he does something which is standard, but I think, that's heavy, that's amazing. Ginny's so good. Yeah, because he's done it, like he's shielded the ball and he's done a turn and then he's gone back again. But it's cool because that's what he does. Yeah, but the way the Kop appreciate him kind of signifies to me that they appreciate that level of work, and it's integral to the rest of the midfield. Even if it's just for 3 moments in the game, which I think yesterday was, I don't know, maybe 2 moments yesterday when he done it, and it was like, yeah, that was proper. But it's hard to watch from the sofa. I think going to games more, we'll sort of see, and if we focus on him when we're at games,
we'll
probably see a lot more of the actual physical work. Ryan never sees it, and Ryan goes a lot. But maybe I'll ask Jules, because Jules went yesterday.
We'll speak to Jules. I love him. Loving these segues, mate. Leading me into nice things nicely.
Good to be back, bro.
Yeah. So then let me ask you, Sam. Yeah, Klopp said that our identity is our intensity. Would you agree with that statement?
That's a dirty bar he dropped. You know? that was wicked, man. Who can live with our intensity?
Not even Man City.
Not even Man City. I'm glad you said that.
Not even Barca lived with it, did they?
I mean, last year at Etihad, I mean...
Yeah, but
we should have won that game.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah, I know, but we didn't.
They couldn't live with us, though. Let's be honest. We were at their ground, and for large periods of that game, we outplayed them. The reason we lost here was because Klopp didn't start Fabinho. And I remember that well. Yeah, forget about Lovren and the shot going between his legs. That's what Lovren does, and it's cool.
I do remember Bernardo Silva and Fernandinho having a serious game, though, to be honest. But
yeah, but going back to what you were asking to them, yeah, our identity is our intensity, because who can live with that? That is Liverpool to the T. It's like, forget about the amazing front three or the amazing creative fullbacks or anything. As a unit, the intensity that we have and we put on every single team we play, no one can live with that. So it's not about shutting Salah out of the game and we're not going to score. It's not about closing down Firmino enough, because there's so much intensity and pressing around them that no one can live with that. And Klopp's got it perfect to the moment.
Yesterday was a moment where I think Fabinho tackled, who was it? I think it could have been Maitland-Niles, and then you just see like about 5 men just break, or just like on the break. Like, I'm just thinking, you know what, like, your bruv, like, it like some say, like, it's vintage Liverpool. You know what I mean? And again, you look at all the teams that are in the Prem right now, like, they should be scared of us. You know what I'm saying to them?
100%.
Because if we play any team like we did yesterday, it's over. You know what?
The reason you say that is why I respected Arsenal for 40 minutes. Because we were playing serious ball, you know.
Do you know
I'm
what?
sure even Gary Neville even said that they're not even playing bad, it's just levels. Like,
yeah, that's what Gary Neville did say. They were just outplayed.
To get 40 minutes on the clock.
They were just outplayed. And you know what, it's quite scary, because I feel like we're kind of at the same level we were at the beginning of last season, where everyone was saying, we were even saying it, we haven't clicked yet. Watch when we click, which is quite dangerous, because I think somebody said it in the group. It might have been Paul. If it was you, Paul, shouts out to you. But Klopp doesn't prepare us to be like hit the ground running at these times now, August. It's more your October, November times, where that's when it kicks in, all the pre-season running and all the stuff that Klopp does. That's when we start to hit the ground and we start to really click into gear. So the football we produced yesterday, if that's what the football we're producing when we're kind of, I don't want to say coasting, because we weren't coasting, but if we're not up to full speed, it is going to be scary when we actually hit the gas pedal.
Like, even Gary Neville yesterday, he was like, at times he was speechless. And you know how much he hates us. Obviously, he was just like,
even commented saying, "Oh yeah, this is like how good Liverpool was," and you could hear the pain in his voice.
Well, shouts out to Rants and Bants, yeah, because he even had to concede that. He even conceded that, you know what, Arsenal, Man United are not even in our league at the moment. We're playing a different brand of football between us and Man City. We're playing a different brand of football to them boys. You know what I'm saying? So I think all other rival fans know that we mean business.
Yeah, of course.
So going back to what you were saying, talking about like our intensity and that, do you think that this is like Klopp's pre-season, like why we're even able to do this? Because I remember before when he first came and we was having the pre-season, everybody started having their hamstring issues, and you had man like Sam Allardyce saying, "Oh yeah,
he's running them too hard.
This is the Premier League. You can't be pushing people like this." But is this like the fruits of the
100%, 100%? I think it took them a while, like you said, to get used to it, because man were going down left, right, and centre when he first turned up. But it took. But this is This is like you said. Like, I think there's no. You answered the question, man. That's the fruit. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It works, man. When you're watching all those videos and doing the lactate test and all of that, and yeah, man, it works. It pays dividends in the games, man.
Sorry to highlight this one player. So do you think that's why Keita, like, you know, is always injured?
Keeps breaking down.
Keeps breaking down.
Possibly, but I read something. How true it was. Someone posted in the group an article that the who does he play for his national team? The Guinea manager is in trouble for playing players injured and stuff like that. So I don't know, but
you know what? To be fair, when he got injured in the last season, Klopp ruled him out of the African nations. And all of a sudden, he was
went.
there.
Yeah,
the first game, I'm like, what? And so I don't know. It's like specifically African players, they hate to turn down their country when it comes to playing the African Nation Cup. And he probably went injured and thought, "No, I've got to represent my country. I've got to do the right thing." And he's played and he's messed himself up.
Yeah, maybe who knows? But getting back to Keita, it's getting very frustrating. And I mean, my mate who I was watching the game with yesterday, like I said, he's obviously an Arsenal fan. He was saying the thing with Liverpool fans is that we back our players. Come rain, snow or sleet, we back them to the hill. But I think behind closed doors, a lot of Liverpool fans will be getting frustrated with Keita now because we paid a lot of money for him and we haven't got to see the best of him yet. So I think he needs to get over these injuries, get with the programme, and when he gets a chance, start producing.
At the end of last season,
the thing is, he's got the ability. We all know he's got the ability.
We've seen it in flashes. We've seen it in flashes, but we need to see some consistently brilliant Keita, I think. Do you know what I mean? Oh, jeez. Anyways. It's a bit early, but do you see any holes in our team and see any places we need to maybe think about strengthening come January? Because obviously we didn't sign anyone in the summer, and I think a lot of people were disappointed that we hadn't signed anyone. I just think with the first 5 games we've played gone, I just want to get people's feeling as to if they're content with the fact we didn't sign anyone or are looking to January to bring someone in.
I think it's a dangerous. Sorry, Sam. I think it's a dangerous game. Him not obviously going and bringing nobody in. I mean, I know it is still early and whatnot, but you look at what City have done, and
City put in,
but still,
one player.
They addressed an area that they knew because Fernandinho, how old is he? He's what, 33, 34?
So they addressed an area. Did we have an area to address?
Yes.
Left back.
Yeah.
Not so much left back. For me, it's Firmino. You can take anyone out of our team and we'll be okay.
Who are you gonna get to do?
I know. Like, but it's Firmino for me. If he's not in the team, like we don't function. We do not function.
The press isn't the same.
It's not the same. He is the
as much as you love
integral.
Origi, but since he's been playing recently,
yeah. Big up Origi,
really
big up Derek,
big up Derek,
big up Derek Origi every time. But he's no. There's no Firmino, and I hope the scouting team are doing their work and finding that next version. Yeah, because he's the one person we need to replace. Yeah, not because he's leaving, but we need to have an adequate replacement for him when he's not in the team. And I don't mean like a Timo Werner or because them guys are just goal scorers. Like you need someone who isn't a striker, but isn't a 10, but is in between the lines of both of them and can do the press. I know it's a lot to ask for, but that's the one for me. That's the one area. That's the one area.
So, are you guys not concerned about left back then?
Not overly.
But I wouldn't mind a bit of competition coming in to push Andy Robertson.
Because obviously, if he goes, Milner's going.
Yeah, but he ain't going nowhere though, bro.
No, but if you got, I'm not saying that.
Touch the wood.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, yeah, because I think obviously I saw some matrix where they were basically trying to show who the other players would be to cover certain positions, and you're just seeing like the Milners and the Fabinas, and these guys are just getting reused over and over again. You're just thinking this one person can't just cover everybody, man. And I also wonder as well whether it's okay. They say it's a good idea to have like flexible players that can cover all these other positions and stuff, but there's sometimes you think that you like want a specialist as well, like for a particular position. So I don't know, but
So you boys, you're pretty calm. You're saying you're pretty calm, yeah, Shawn?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And Sam and Richard are saying they're seeing some holes that need filling, but come January. Okay.
But I think as well that he's got to trust the youth as well. I think you're going to see like Brewster obviously get a few games.
I need to see that guy play a few games. I'm eager to see him play.
Yeah.
Also, while we talk about youngsters, just quickly, Wilson, man, he scored another excellent free kick against City today.
It's actually winding me up.
That we let him go.
It's winding me up.
That we let him go. I'm
And it always
confused.
happens at the same time when Lallana's had an appearance. For what? Like, I don't know the thinking behind it. I was chatting to my son about it today, and he was like, maybe Wilson didn't want to work hard to get into the team, and he's old enough and didn't want to compete for a place. He wanted to start. I looked at this 10-year-old and I thought, you might have a point in there. Maybe it is that Wilson knows that he's not going to get into the team, and at 22 he doesn't want to fight for a place and only have cup appearances, and that's why he said, you know what, boss, let me go out on loan, and because I'm sure Klopp would have kept him, but on the bench.
Yeah.
And so it's frustrating for us to see, but maybe it's down to the player.
Then it was 2022.
22.
But then it comes back to again what I was saying, Klopp substitutions, winning, you're 3-0 up at 60 minutes, 60, 70 minutes or whatever. Those are the players you bring on, not your Milners. You give these guys that experience you have to trust them and give them that experience in the Premiership. Don't get me wrong.
Brought on Lallana. and to be fair, that if Lallana wasn't there, surely it would be Wilson who's in that place.
But why wasn't it Brewster overhead than Lallana? Or why wasn't it
Brewster
in the squad?
Fair enough.
But
Yeah, but-
on the bench anyway.
I would say that a prime example of a game when Brewster should have been getting an opportunity was when we played Norwich. Look how many goals ahead we was.
Yeah, he didn't make the squad.
You didn't even put him in the squad, man. Just thinking, well, if you're not going to put him in that against Norwich,
Yeah.
you don't do it against
who
Southampton.
would you have him on the bench instead of then?
Sorry, who would have I had?
If Bruce is on the bench, who's not on the bench?
I don't know, Shaq or I don't know.
Taking out
No,
Derek.
because didn't
Taking out
did
Lallana,
he even play
right?
Shaq?
Well, yeah, obviously Lallana.
I can't. To be fair, I can't actually remember who was on the bench, to be honest. But what I mean is that was, you would expect, if Bruce is ever going to get opportunity, it's going to be the team
Against those teams.
that's been
Yeah,
promoted.
especially at Anfield as well.
At Anfield,
Which is like a fortress.
I think we were expecting to see him on the bench, but
I was disappointed about that. I can't even lie, to be honest.
Throw another stat in there for you, mate. One more.
rah.
You know we haven't lost at Anfield in over 2 years.
Yeah, that one I did know, thanks.
Okay, I'm just saying. Just saying. Just throwing them out there.
Well,
innit?
actually,
Was
Today.
it 51 games? 52 games?
I don't want to go into the game, Mark.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
I don't want to get that wrong.
52 games.
Oh, it's 52 games.
games
Okay,
now.
fair
Since
enough.
yesterday.
Fair enough.
Arsenal tried a thing, but
When I was scared, we thinking we might potentially have lost, that was against Real Madrid, and I can't believe that we just Barcelona.
oh.
And
Yeah.
even to this day, man.
Look,
just
so
thinking, I can't
it's all
believe we pulled
competitions.
that off.
It's not just league.
No, it's all competitions. Crazy.
We lost.
Not lost.
We
I
haven't
know.
lost.
Proper
Wicked.
Fortress Anfield.
Wicked.
But anyway, nearly time to wrap this up, boys. So just before we go, let's obviously just have a quick look at the next game. We're away at Burnley, which last season was a little bit of a sticky one. That's where Gomez picked up his injury, and Bobby Firmino had to come off the bench to open the scoring, if I remember correctly. Do we see any potential banana skins at that game? Go on, Richard.
Nah, I think we're gonna do it.
Burnley, well, they lost to Arsenal at the Emirates, didn't they? But I think they beat Wolves today 1-0, didn't they?
No, Wolves got a penalty in
Oh.
95th minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something great. Yeah.
I thought that was clean done.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You
But-
definitely need to stay. You need to stay switched on with Burnley though, because
Oh, of course.
It's going to be a lot of long balls and
they're quite rough team
yeah,
as well.
kicking to the ankles.
So for once, I'm grateful for the international break afterwards, because the boys are going to need a bit of rest, and those that are not going, after a game like that, they're going to be battered. They're going to be bad.
Well, international break brings its own problems, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
it does,
players go
yeah.
away. Do you know what I mean?
You've got too
I
many internationals for that.
Do you know what? Yeah, like not that they'd ever be listening, but FIFA, man, seriously, you got to get rid of that break, man. It's just it's a joke. But anyway, straight back onto Burnley. Do you see any changes to the lineup, Shawn, for that game?
I don't know. I don't see any changes. I think in the midfield, I don't think he's going to bring Ox or Lana in. I think he's just going to stick with the same, tried and tested midfield. So, yeah, I just think he's going to go with the same midfield. It's a tough physical game. You know what I mean? And even though I do like Ox and whatnot, he's just come up from injury. Give him a bit of time to obviously find his legs and whatnot. So I just think that he's just gonna go with the same starting 11.
Do you think that's a game that we should have rotated though?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I think that's a dangerous fixture to throw fringe players into.
Exactly.
If I'm honest,
That's
Burnley.
the one you want that hard working move.
Yeah. Because Turf Moor's not an easy place to go to as well, man. Like, they're up for it, them. You know what I'm saying? So
I think if anything, probably Milner might come in, barring say an injury or something. But other than that, I don't see Ox or.
I could see Milner coming in for maybe Wijnaldum, possibly. Yeah, and I wouldn't be too displeased with that if I'm honest, because you need that hard work in midfield. Yeah, it is 100% definitely. Sam, let's start with you. Get a score prediction for the next game.
I'm going for a solid but difficult 2-0 win.
Shawn?
3-0.
Richard?
I'm obviously the pessimistic one out here. I think it's gonna be 3-1. I think we will concede.
You're not pessimistic.
Well, Ashley Barnes,
Yeah.
Listen, he's on the roll right now.
Not pessimistic.
I need Virgil to come back to being that big bully, man, and dominate him. Proper dominate him.
Yeah, I agree with you though, Richard. I'm seeing more of a 3-1 as well. If I'm honest.
I just think right now is just not quite there in terms of like everything being aligned. If that makes sense. But,
no.
Like you said anyway, it's all about the win. That's all that matters nowadays. Man.
As long as we get the W.
No
I mean, you know, it's funny. The press make me laugh, man. You know, when they say, "Oh, Liverpool only unbeaten side left in the Premier League, and we've only played 3 games." It's like it's not hard to be unbeaten after 3 games, is it? But you know,
what was making me laugh actually was when they were saying that Arsenal's best start for 10 years because they won the first 2 games.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, come on, man, you can't claim
I know.
They are reaching.
Oh man, poor Arsenal. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's about that time, man. I just want to say before we go to you guys out there watching and listening, keep an eye on our Instagram account, which is Anfield_South1, because there's always bits on there. I'm always popping up on TalkSport on the sports bar every once in a while, so that's always on there, so keep an eye on that. And feel free to like, share and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. It's always good. We love it when you subscribe and you share. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, we are what are we on Twitter? @South Anfield. Yeah, so and if you on any of those platforms and you send your number to us, we'll add you to the WhatsApp group and you can join in the madness that is Anfield South. But for today, I've been your boy, Slim, the host with the most, back with a bang. We've had Sam with us today.
Yes, people. Till next time.
Shawn.
Everybody take care.
And Richard.
I'll be back.
Till next time, people. Peace.
Oh, my word. That's unbelievable. It really is. I think they should stick to playing football. Terrible. What do you think, Kenny? Oh, yeah.